All right. Welcome to the Morning Spike. So where all the Nerd Huddle comes together and helps you guys out with your football info. My name is Tim Kramer, Brian from the Panda Grizzly Show, and Martin from Dynasty Pylon. How you guys doing?
Good. I mean, unbelievable week. Come on, guys. This has been. We have the NCAA tournament going on right now, and football takes all the headlines. This is just nuts.
It's football is king in the US. So but
I agree with Jimmy Mills.
that was March Madness. The NFL postseason is the greatest ever.
Yeah, this is March Madness. Basically, when the year, the NFL year starts again, that's the real March Madness. This is nuts. I've never seen anything like.
Good morning. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Well, real quick, I remember. So Martin's always calling the in his little crystal balls everything. I called it on Dynasty Pylon's show, like early on. I think it was the Thursday show. I'm like, Watson's going to Cleveland, and then the next morning, Watson goes to Cleveland.
So weird too.
Once Carolina was out of the picture, now I'm like, that's where he's going. But it makes sense. If it's not Carolina, it's gonna go somewhere else where he's gonna make an impact. You know,
and I bet $30 million, and then and then have the contract that he makes $1 million this year. Yeah. So if he gets fined and he loses his money, he only loses hundreds of thousands of dollars instead of millions of dollars. It has everything to do with Cleveland's willing to do whatever it took to get him there. Cleveland told him that. He was like, cool, I'll sign on about the dial line.
Yeah.
If Atlanta would say the same thing, I think Atlanta would have got it. I think I heard Atlanta was winning in the clubhouse. That he was going to go to Atlanta.
I think so.
It was so weird though, like the whole situation, because teams were like off and they were back on, and they were back off, and they were back on. Like, Carolina bounced back and forth. Browns bounced back and forth, and it was the night prior that he was like, "I'm not going," or the Browns wasn't even like a thing until the following morning. Like they had announced that Browns aren't even an option. It's going to be NFC South. So everyone's thinking, okay, well, it's going to be one of the NFC South teams. It's going to be one of those. The Buccaneers are going to have to deal with Watson for sure. And then it was the following morning, in the morning, where it switched over. And the Browns, like you said, like he woke up having an epiphany or something, but he woke up and he's like, okay, it's got to be the Browns. So
what Schefter said was that, I was actually reading the Twitter, so I was reading the Twitter line. And it was like, so what they said is that
sucks.
It was announced that he's not going to Cleveland. And Cleveland said, no, not yet. Hold on. And they started calling them and started texting them all the time and telling them, like, look, we can do things with the contract, and started negotiating the contract, even though he already said he's not going to Cleveland. And then that's where they came up with this whole $1 million idea, which is huge. This whole million. I mean, what team in their right mind would do that? Make his base salary $1 million, incentive laden for this year, and then still give him $48 million a year, the biggest guaranteed contract of all time.
That's crazy.
Nuts that they did that. And I mean, it's almost like they're laughing in the NFL's face and pointing at them like, who? If you're gonna suspend him 8 games, or you suspend him 4 games, he's gonna only lose $250,000. That's it. He's still going to get $228,000, $228 million of his contract. It's ridiculous what he did. Like, it's amazing what they did.
That's
they
what happened.
So much millions of dollars. It's ridiculous.
You're saying like he woke up with an epiphany. I'm like, he woke up with like cash literally like falling, like on his bed. It was like Cleveland was like, here you go, and dump like a dumpster of like what 200 something million dollars,
230 or something like that. Yeah, and it was ridiculous how much
all guaranteed. When I first read it, I'm like, that can't be right. And I think even like you're like, no, they're still working at it. I'm like, okay. And then like a few hours later, I look it up. I'm like, oh, this is right. That's crazy.
It's official, yeah.
Guaranteed.
bonkers.
For $1 million base salary this year, it's unbelievable that the NFL will allow a contract to be signed like that. No way he's gonna get suspended, so they don't get their money.
About half of the season. I think that's what you were saying. It's about 6 games. Like it's probably gonna be more, and then he's gonna appeal, blah blah blah. But it's gonna be about
4 to 8.
Yeah, somewhere in that range.
Roethlisberger ended up being suspended 4 games. He was set for 6 games. He appealed, went down to 4 games. So most people think it's gonna be the exact same thing. Get 6 games, appeal, go back down to 4 games.
But
if I was the NFL, I'll do it for longer. I like Deshaun Watson. I like how he plays football. I don't know him as a man, but if I was the NFL, I would say I'm gonna give him a long suspension because you're gonna do this, or I'll suspend you in 2023 when you get your real salary.
But the thing is with him is like everything. See, with the Browns now, that puts that entire division in one crazy race. Now, I don't think the Steelers are going to have a chance still. It's still too new. Even Trubisky's there, but it's still weird. I mean, it's just the Browns contending with the Ravens is a lot closer.
Forget them and the Bengals.
And the Bengals too. All that entire division is just going to be nuts.
Did that become the second best quarterback division now in the NFL?
Oh,
with Deshaun Watson.
Wow. Wait, what would you consider the first? The AFC West?
AFC West.
Right
just
now,
because Mahomes and
no, because
Herbert Carr.
There you go. Yeah, Carr's there with Adams, which brings up why Jimmy Mills is over here laughing his ass off over here about how Adams is no longer his weapon. I'm just saying that that entire division with Carr, Russell getting there, Mahomes is just Herbert. It's going to be the most funnest division. Last year was NFC South or NFC West. This is going to be AFC, and I'm excited for it. I really want to see because more than likely a lot of these teams are going to be in prime time. So a lot of the spotlight, and the schedule should be coming out here at the beginning of April. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, that's going to be a good.
I mean, what 12 of the top 15 quarterbacks have to be in the AFC?
For sure. So, Brian, would you suspend him the whole season or do 10 games?
The NFL can't do that. I mean, when you have Roethlisberger already as the control, basically, an experiment, you can't go beyond that because it's a collectively bargain. So they can suspend him 6 to 8 games, and they're going to go down to either 4 or 6 games. But I would do it for the 2023 season, take more money. Since he's going to take his money that way, or I'll do it on his average salary for his contract. That's how much you get. You can't do that because it's collectively bargain. So it's like what he makes every game is the only thing they're going to take away. So I mean, Cleveland knows that, and that's why they're just kind of just thumbing their nose at the NFL, laughing at them. It's amazing that they allow that, but what can you do?
Yeah. So and also it's like you can't. I think you can't put the NFL can't put a harder punishment than like the actual court system, because then you're kind of saying like you're above the law almost. Like no, our law said he's in the clear, at least for criminal stuff. Civil is a whole nother situation, but and then the NFL is like, no, we're still going to suspend him the whole season. It's like, for what? Like he's not criminally in trouble.
I think the conduct policy, whatever, for the NFL usually goes about 6 games. As I said, we have NFL players that have killed people. We have NFL players that like beat their wives.
Josh Gordon.
The whole thing needs to be changed.
You can't. If you suspend them 4 games, I mean, you can't suspend it for a whole season. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
I think that whole thing needs to be reconstructed and restructured on a different based on. I'm not saying like a tier or anything. Like I'm just saying like on how all of it is punished by a certain action that they've done, and yet we still have got, like you said, like has done some pretty messed up stuff. But yet, like nobody's talking about Alvin Kamara right now.
I know.
Nobody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's coming, and I'm wondering like how that's gonna affect, the Saints, how it's gonna affect us as on a fantasy level. Like all that is nobody's talking about it. It just, I understand that we're in the free agency period, but I have a feeling that at some point it's I give it to like maybe mid-April, about May, we start hearing more about Kamara's issues because he might not even play this season. But people don't realize that he, like what he did, like what he beat up a man, right? Like
yeah, but men get beat up. How many NFL players do? I would be surprised if Alvin Kamara this is less than 3 games. Because if you come out with
which is ridiculous to me. Ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
If you come with Deshaun Watson, 6 games for him, and he goes down to 4, Alvin Kamara, you give him a 4-game suspension, he's going to reduce it to 3. That's just what's going to happen. I mean, there's so many guys have done crazy things that play. They get 2-game suspensions. And what it is remember when Goodell first started as the commissioner? He was throwing out suspensions left and right, and they said they didn't like to have him having this all autonomy with all those decisions. And the NFL players usually start to fight back, and the NFL players thought about, we'll walk out.
Mm-hmm.
So Goodell can't just do what he thinks is right. It doesn't matter. The owners can't just do whatever. So because it's collectively bargained, these suspensions will always be like terrible, like that won't fit the crime.
Yeah,
I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, there's no way he should have got 4 games.
Yeah.
There's no way. When you look at this, the case and the evidence they had, there's no way.
Yeah, I mean, if he was a normal person, and not a celebrity, athlete, there's a good chance he probably would be in jail, But since he is who he is, he pretty much got off,
Exactly.
A lot of it has to do with that money, man.
Yeah,
they probably put up a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of like things that we don't know about off the side, but to get them off their suspension or their
a good lawyer will get you a lot of stuff.
So real quick before we move on from the Watson thing and bring up the Kamara, I was reading a theory in one of these like football groups I'm in, and they said one of the reasons why Watson wasn't really considering the Saints is because he wants to stay away from stuff like that. And since Kamara's is gonna come down sooner than later, he doesn't want to be kind of in that world, I guess, because you're already dealing with the Big Ben stuff. Still people still talk about it, and now you got Watson that going in there. I mean, so and then with the Kamara thing, so there's a theory that like Watson's like, I'm gonna stay away from it. Maybe it's a better coach, obviously better coach, but you're like, nah, I need to stay away from that just for my brand, in the long run.
I think his brand was huge in the whole decision. Because, him going to Atlanta, the only reason you go to Atlanta, because it's home.
Mm-hmm.
There's like no other reason. They don't have any receivers. They have another guy who's already got suspended, for gambling. There's literally no reason to go to Atlanta except that's my home place. I don't know why he chose not to go to Carolina, but I'm guessing Carolina wasn't going to give him an extension. It had something to do with money. New Orleans.
I felt like that was the best place.
I agree. I don't know. I think that's the only thing. He should have probably gone there, but if it's about money, they don't have the money to give. So that's just what it is. And they're not.
Atlanta and Saints make no sense to me either.
But New Orleans, you look at New Orleans. I mean,
they don't make no sense neither.
You have no money. You have Alvin Kamara. Even with Michael Thomas coming back, he has a $34 million cap hit. And Cam Jordan has a $31 million cap hit. Eventually that whole team is going to fall apart. So if they're not giving you money and the team is going to fall apart, why the hell would you go there too?
The thing is,
makes no sense. Honestly, it did make a lot. Myles Garrett makes a lot of sense.
With the Saints though, I don't know how are they doing it every year. We see it happen every year on the offseason. They're always in the negative when it comes to cap. And then somehow, some way, they pull some magic out of the strings, and this is why everyone's like, "Oh, the cap's not real." I'm like, "Okay, but it is, because people reconstruct their contracts." So here's what the Saints are doing. They're basically kicking a can down the road with the bigger boot every single year, and at some point, that is going to stop. It's going to stop. Right now, surprisingly, they're at 26 million. How?
How about this though? Technically, if the NFL gets their new TV deal, the cap can rise up to $40 million in the next 2 years. If that's the case, New Orleans
additional?
Never have, yeah.
Wow.
So if that's the case, the New Orleans will never ever have to pay the piper because they'll be so far under the cap because everyone will be under the cap. And that's what New Orleans was banking on because the new TV deal comes out soon. That's why we haven't heard about Amazon Prime, and that's why they're changing all these commentators and all this stuff. The TV deals are coming out. So if they get this influx of $10 billion, $20 billion, the cap has to go up because they have to share with the players. And if that's the case, it goes up, $40 million. It goes from 208 to 245. It won't matter. And that's why people are paying these quarterbacks $50 million too. Because once again, in 2 years, it might not matter.
I mean, I guess it's kind of smart, but it's also very risky because, what if, things fall through and then you're just screwed. So, I don't know. It's definitely something we're going to keep an eye on. And then Jimmy said Brady plays the whole division. Plays the whole division this year.
That's probably why he came back. Me and Brian said last week that there's a chance that there's a actually we said it when Marvin came on. But there's a reason probably why he came on because he's going to be the only good QB in that entire division. Yeah. There's a good chance why. I mean, I disagree on why he came back. You've heard my theory on why he came back. Yeah. My theory also kind of makes sense as well, but again, no one looks at it that way. Everyone's seeing it as he just came back because he could contend, which is a very valuable. They're a very, very valid reason on why he came back as well, because he's the only one. I still think it's because of the money. But
he also could have been playing chicken. He probably went to the Bucs and said, "Well, if I go to the Bucs and say, hey, I need you to trade me to San Francisco," they're like, "There ain't no way in hell I'm trading you to San Francisco." So, well, then I retire. I take my ball and go home. And they're like, "All right, go ahead." They're just waiting him out, and he was like, "No, I'm just joking. Yeah, I'm back." Wasn't planning on ever being gone at all. He couldn't stay at home for 5 weeks.
Yeah.
If he was really going to play chicken, he did it till June, July.
I think it could be a little bit of both, because I think once he was kind of banking on Watson not coming to the Falcons. If Watson came to the Falcons, it probably still wouldn't really matter too much this year. So, I mean, he knows he's going to win the division, so he's going to get another divisional title and another round to the playoffs, So, and money, and he can get paid. So, it's just why it makes sense. It sucks because I don't want to see him in the league anymore.
I was happy. I was happy, and then I was irritated because
tired about everyone.
Which is why why I don't want you here anymore. I like the way you have established yourself as the GOAT, and let's keep it that way. But just why? It just irritated the hell out of me because there's so many quarterback controversies going to the Bucs, and then it changed in a single moment. In a single moment, it was like, all right, this changes everything. It's so crazy how a single player can change, like with the Watson thing. Everyone was waiting on Watson. Now that Brady came back, and Brady to keep his blood pressure down. Yeah, probably.
That's
some damn kids or something. I don't know.
To keep Jimmy Mills's blood pressure down.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, yeah. He wanted to be traded to and Bruce Arians said, "Yeah, if you want to get traded, give me 5 first round of picks." Yeah, no one's gonna do that. No one's gonna give you 5 first rounders.
You can't even. They can only trade out like 3 years out, right? This year, next year, in the following year. Yeah.
Well, in the draft, you could trade the draft year and then 3 years out. So technically, if they wait to the draft, they could get 4 first rounders.
Yeah, at max.
Damn.
That's because they get renewed that day.
Unless you really give it all type of first rounders.
Yeah.
They're gonna be interesting on draft day because I think they're gonna be like making big moves and stuff. I think like right before or on the day. But real quick, like I saw another funny thing where Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers are talking, and Brady's like, "Hey, I got more retirements than you got rings," which like made me laugh. Like fucking Tom Brady. But that's the thing. It's like I'm over Tom Brady and I'm over Aaron Rodgers. They both need to just be gone and let the new kids play. You know, like Mahomes, Josh Allen. You know, I want to see more Watson. You know, Herbert. You know, all the new Fields and the Golden Boy and
poor Jordan Love.
oh yeah, man. I mean,
Jordan Love will never freaking play 4 years.
No,
man.
That's what he says. Like, never gonna play. It's terrible.
Hey, he's got front row seats to every freaking game, man. Trust me, it's crazy.
I got a question, guys. Though, real quick. What do you think of the deal?
I don't know. We'll get into that in a second. What do
you think about it? I mean, so he could have went to if they would have traded with the other two teams. I think they would have got better draft picks. Because the problem with Cleveland gave 3 first rounders. What Cleveland is great for those 3 years. You have a great defense, a great O-line. You have receivers. You have running backs. You could and Deshaun Watson makes your team better. So you trade them for what 3 picks between 22 and 32? That sucks. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a terrible pick, terrible trade. Why would you do that to Cleveland? They're too good of a team. Unless you're just saying that Deshaun's going to make any team he's on better.
Like we're talking about Houston receiving the pick, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying it's bad?
I'm saying that Cleveland's the wrong team to trade with because they're going to be good. So their first round of picks are going to be 22 to 32.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like
well, they get an extra first for this season. This first is a 13 pick.
So you get 13, and then they get 25, and then say they win the Super Bowl in the 32.
Well, I don't think they care about next season yet. I think it'll wherever they get a first is going to be nice. Sorry, Tank. We were going to talk about this in a second, but this dude.
No, go for it.
The third is now. The 13th is now. Mm-hmm. And then the first of wherever they land, that means that Texans can have a potential wherever they land in the beginning because they're not going to be balling out at the beginning. There's no way. And then they have a later first round. I think it's fine. The first because what they have they have 10 picks. 10. That's 2 firsts, a second, 2/3, a fourth. 3 6 and a 7.
Probably looking for a quarterback. You probably want to have enough first round picks for next year.
I would roll with Mills. I would roll with Mills this season. He did just fine. And then next season they'll get Bryce Hall or Bryce Hall. Wrong one.
So you have your pick. You're going to probably have to trade up. There's the probability they're going to be the worst team. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be the worst team. I think David Mills is good enough to get them 5 or 6 wins. They won't be the worst team. They won't have the worst record. Shit. The Bears might have the worst record. I know right now what they're doing. But you don't have, so you need enough picks to kind of accumulate. And I'm saying that the Cleveland pick is not going to be looked at as a great pick. Especially if this season they go out and win 10, 12 games, which definitely can happen. Because Cleveland did that with Baker Mayfield. So my point is that their 2023 pick is not going to be that good. It's not even that enticing. You know, but if you went to Atlanta or if you went to New Orleans, you know, they could have been terrible, especially with Kamara be gone. You know, being over the cap. I mean, I just felt like their pick could have been better with a worse team. And why would you send him to a team in the AFC that you're going to have to contend with still?
This is also the Houston Texans who denied every trade in the book.
Yeah, they could have got something a year ago.
Better. That's what I'm saying.
They could have got way better, but
that's why I don't question what they do because you never know what they're going to do. They're going to do something stupid. They're going to do something different. They're going to do something regardless of the fact that I think after the last couple of seasons we've been seeing them like just tank completely. Even when Watson was playing there in 2019, it was just horrible. Like, no matter where Watson went, I think he was going to do just fine. Tank said Atlanta that he wouldn't do so great. I disagree. He goes to Saints, and then people were saying he's going to do horrible because he has no webs. I disagree. He literally played with fans in jerseys. Like there was no talent there. Like, and he still somehow made it happen. This dude is one of the best quarterbacks. Now, hopefully he stayed in shape. And it'll probably take a couple months, and hopefully the off seasons it'll reconstruct the way he plays. But I think no matter where he would have landed, Watson would have been by far the best wherever he goes. Now, Cleveland, I understand that the draft picks for 2023 aren't going to be that great, potentially, because they're going to win. But maybe that's part of their plan. Like I said, they can have some type of picks because they could easily trade those up or down.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they might end up doing. But again, we don't know what they're going to do. And Braden says, I think the trade was more on Watson than the Texans, though, since Houston already approved the trade ideas before Watson could meet with the teams. True. And Watson had idea. What Braden said, basically, he had ideal cause of who he can choose to.
Yeah, but the thing is also, Houston could have said no one to the AFC. They could have said that. Yeah, we're not going to send you somewhere that we're going to see you. We're just not going to do it. You know, so send them further away. It just didn't make sense to me. Like, you could have sent him to the NFC, so you don't have to see it, and you could have sent him to a worse team, so you get more picks. Yeah, I mean, if Watson.
But then Watson could have said no.
He could be. He's back.
We don't know what Watson said.
He wasn't going to say.
Watson said, "You know what? No, I want them." And then if that's the only option you're going to give me, well, then I guess we're going to have to deal with it and take it.
Yeah, but he said he was going to be all about these two teams. He said and chose which team he won. He could have said only the NFC, and you could eliminate this problem.
Yeah, but he said that through the media, but we don't know how that phone call conversation actually physically went that morning, that day.
You have to put I think you have to put your foot down and say, hey, they're going to NFC. Talk to any NFC team you want to talk to. We're not paying you. We're not going to play you. That's just not what we're going to do.
I don't know. I think you're thinking about it too much, and I don't care.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, also it's like,
I'm sorry, man. Look, I think the fact that they don't matter with it. They're going to get through first. I think it's going to be just fine.
They had 2 years to play in this. I don't.
When
you have all this time and you've been holding on to this man all this time, you should have figured this out.
Yeah. But you said that's Houston. They were going to go with Josh McDaniels as their head coach, a guy who's never been a coach ever in the NFL in any kind of way. And they wanted to go with him as the head coach. I mean, that's just Houston does. They do stupid stuff.
Yeah.
So, Brayden said they're okay with the Cleveland trade idea. They declined him an interview with the Colts. Yeah.
Because they didn't want to play him.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Exactly. Yeah. But it's also money where Watson could have been like, they're giving me a lot of money and this is where I want to go. So get whatever you can.
You could have said,
for sure.
No, you can't go to any AFC team. You left the door open for it.
I wouldn't give that, Jamie.
Yeah. You could came to me and say, I really want to go to the Patriots. I've been like, all right, whatever. Go somewhere else.
Here we got Jimmy asking a good question. Let me ask you guys, in the AFC North, how would you rank the QBs best to worst?
Deshaun's number one. Even more for I'll take Deshaun every day, twice.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But then I probably go Burrow over Lamar.
Yeah.
And then the three-headed dragons, dumber and dumbest. I don't care about Pittsburgh.
We're talking about just QBs.
That's what we're talking about, though.
Yeah.
I know. If we're talking about, I'm just saying, if we're just talking about just QBs, not team as a whole, I would say Watson, obviously number one, assuming he comes back and just plays Watson. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're hoping that he plays the same. Damn. That's going to be a tough one between Joey B and Lamar because they both have different type of skills, but I'm going to say Joe Burrow just ahead of Lamar and then Trubisky. And that's only because of health concerns, and they don't provide Lamar
You need weapons.
No, and that's exactly why I'm kind of saying Joey B over Lamar.
Yeah.
And they've reconstructed that line just a little bit on the offseason. The Bengals have. So
yeah, they have.
And that's not even the draft yet. So I expect them to at least get another draft pick for that line. That line's going to be a lot better. Joe Burrow is just one of the smartest QBs out there. He's so chill about everything he does. I think he easily could potentially be number one. But
I've seen too much of Deshaun to know that Joe.
But I think if he's possible, I think Joe Burrow could be really, really close, potentially be number one. But we got to see it though. We got to see Watson in the Browns because again, he hasn't played in a whole season, and we need to know if he's still Watson. Yes, I easily think that Watson's going to be easily number one, but I think Joe Burrow is not going to be that far behind.
So who wins the division? Browns or Bengals? Say Watson only gets 4 games because say he only gets 4 games, so he misses a quarter of it. That means they're already behind. But
Bengals.
No, it's who's the backup? Jacoby Brissett can win in Cleveland.
If they can win 2 of those 4 games,
Jacoby Brissett can win 3. Jacoby Brissett is a good quarterback. Cleveland could do it. I think their defense is amazing. Don't forget how good they are. They have the best defensive end in the NFL. They have good guys on the corners. They have a really, really, really good defense, guys. And now you have with Deshaun Watson, a real quarterback. It makes the defense even better.
That was hard.
Yeah, so I think Cleveland's got a better O-line. Running backs are about. I'll probably give it to the Bengals if Mixon can stay healthy. But if Mixon goes down, then it's kind of like for me because you got
That's the whole reason why I say Cleveland is better. They have more.
They have more, but they're also working with Landry and Clowney because now they both want to stay, which I don't blame them. I'm like, you got Watson.
That's crazy.
I want to see. So they're working.
Okay, I'll take whatever you got.
They got Cooper. So now, Bengals had these great wide receivers. Now the Browns are probably going to have great wide receivers that are going to want to stay with Watson. Great O-line. The defense, I think the Browns defense is better. If they can win at least half of the games while Watson's out, which is a very, very good possibility, especially depending on how their schedule comes out in a few weeks, they could run away with this division. I won't say run away, but it's going to be Bengals or Browns for sure. And it's funny because it's Baltimore in this, and no one's like they're kind of I don't say done, but done. Yeah.
But all right. I would have said before the Jacoby Brissett signing, the 1-year deal he just signed with Cleveland, I would have said the Bengals because Jacoby Brissett is such a good quarterback, and I believe half these teams will be better with him. Period. And he's their backup. He's going to win games for them. He's good, and you don't have to change your offense for him at all. That offense is going to be exactly the same as Deshaun was. Deshaun's out there, and that changes the whole deal.
Jimmy's saying Bengals win the division, Browns win in playoffs, though. Yeah. I mean that's a possibility, but I mean this season is gonna be interesting. But next season, when everything is kind of put to bed and everything's done, and everyone's playing full, and we'll see what happens. But Browns are going to be a team in the AFC. Because before it was just Buffalo and Kansas City. In the next 5 to 10 years, and now you got Browns are going to be in the talk for the next for years to come.
Browns, Bengals, and Chargers will be right there every year.
Which is that's crazy.
Talking about all these tiers, you guys all right? So there's real quick. Robert Woods went to Tennessee. They released Julio Jones, and now you got Juju in the Chiefs, which is going to be crazy because I love that. Juju going to the Chiefs. They should have happened last year. Why did he re-sign with the Steelers? I don't know why. He believed that Steelers was his home. But I'm so glad he's right there with the Chiefs. It's going to be easily the number 2, and I think that man, with him and Kelsey and Juju with Hill, that's going to be dangerous, very dangerous. Mahomes is definitely going to keep his elite status there. I'm excited for that.
He paid his debt back to those guys that were watching the game at the end of the first half and said, "Hey, you better stop winning." So he'll be back to regular Mahomes.
So he thinks he's going to play.
What? Wait, it was like crazy echo. Chiefs are going to be the number 1 TikTok team.
So yeah, I don't know if you guys Tank. I don't know if you have anything else left on the show sheet or anything. Like if you want to talk about anything else.
I was just kind of whatever big moves happen. So
all right, cool.
Tank, talk about show sheet.
Anything else you got? Because I kind of have a game. If you want to play.
Wait, real quick. Well, Matt Stafford signed that extension. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah,
I like it. I expected it. I like it. I expected it with Allen Robinson there. Maybe Allen Robinson immerses again. He is also 28, 29.
He's still good. He had a whole season off last year. You could tell me he didn't play football last year, basically.
So we'll see how that goes. I still think he's going to be good, just not where he was back in Jacksonville.
Maybe Bobby Trees. He's going to be him.
Yeah. So,
one last thing. So Broncos are reworking a lot of their contracts. Like I'm going through the news, and I'm already seeing like 6 or 7. Are you expecting another big move from the Broncos?
I'm expecting Broncos to get Armstead because after he left Chicago, I know what he's looking for. I think they're reworking to get Armstead. Be a great left tackle.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, I didn't have really a show sheet besides talking about some of the big moves. So what you got?
I have a tier-based QB game.
Okay.
Now we got about 20 minutes roughly. I mean, we also do go about an hour and a half, but with let me read this with Rams signed Robinson, trading Woods. Do they re-sign OBJ? No, I don't think so.
I think they offer him a 1-year deal, and he probably won't take it because
he'll go somewhere weird.
He'll be ready by October. I mean, that's what I mean. Honestly,
if OBJ ends up somewhere weird, like I don't know, like God, I don't want to say this, but can he end up in the Bills? Like he's missing. He's missing. Like Beasley's gone, and then
I think there's still too much talent.
That's still too much. That's a weird one. That's a weird one to me. I'm not gonna give any opinion on OBJ yet because that dude can sign basically somewhere interesting that I probably wouldn't even think about.
What if you go to the Chargers? He's in LA. Think about who OBJ is.
Just walk across the street, maybe.
Yep. Stays in LA.
I don't think so, man.
They're not gonna have the money, and they already got your game. So what's the point? I mean, they're not gonna sign another receiver.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen, dude. To be honest. All right. Well, anyways, that's enough about that. So I have here now a tier-based game that we can play. And I wanted to do this with Mark and whatever, but we can do it with now. So here's how we could do this. It's a tier. It's basically a tier of the QBs because Jimmy Mills brought it up. Who do we think about the AFC West tier? So you got the best, the elite, the almost elite, above average, average, below average, bad, awful, trash, or the worst. And you have all the QBs. So if you guys want, we can start at the top. We can also delete some of these if we think that it's different. We can just get rid of it. I'm just going on the fly, but this is kind of a game I wanted to start. Jimmy, if you have any comments and you think that maybe we could put these guys somewhere else, or Braden, if you're watching, go ahead, let us know in comments.
Jimmy, don't look anymore. I'm about to piss you off.
But so all right. So you guys want to start with the best QBs?
Well, let's just start with each player, because then otherwise we're gonna be bouncing around too much. Let's just pick a player and then figure out where he sits on the chart,
and then move him around later on.
Yeah,
if we need to.
Okay. We can start with Matt Ryan, or we can start with any of these right now.
Can we start with Tom Brady?
You could trade Lance, Tom Brady.
You would start with Tom Brady right off the bat. Piss Jimmy off.
Where would Jimmy be at? My bad. Where would Tom Brady be at?
Almost elite.
Really?
You say almost elite? I disagree.
I mean,
I don't think he's as good as. I mean, I think there's the best. He's no longer the best. The elite. He could be elite. You could argue to me that he is elite, but honestly, I don't feel like he is anymore.
I feel like he's elite, and only because you say he's not elite anymore, or he's not the best anymore.
Because he was the. There's no question that he's the GOAT.
I still think he can be elite.
At 38. Yeah. I think
there was no. And here's my argument. Tom Brady, for the first 5 weeks, was scoring almost 5 touchdowns a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then injuries happen and whatnot, but he was at one point
1 touchdown a game. But my fear is that his mind he's top mind. I mean, that's not a question. I don't know if his body's going to be able to hold up to the 17-game season again.
All right, Tank, where you at?
I'm gonna.
He says almost elite. I say
I'm gonna go elite, because like if he was the best and he downgraded, then it's elite. He's
and
not
Jimmy
almost
has
elite.
The best, so we'll leave him right there in between all 4 of our votes.
Yeah,
votes right there at elite.
Right. Also, I think when we put in all these other quarterbacks in, we should have like. I mean, is he still he's on the same level?
We voted. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
I'm moving on.
Oh,
we already wait. We're gonna spend too much time on Tom Brady, and Jimmy Mills is in the chat. We're gonna be in there for hours. All right, so Tua.
Yeah. Tua.
Below average.
I want to say like average.
I still need to see it, man.
Where do we? I don't know if I put him average yet, because if Kirk Cousins is really my average, he's below.
I'm gonna say below average.
Kirk Cousins.
And he could potentially be bad for me, but I have hope for him. Yes, I just don't see it yet. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
Below average, okay.
Yeah.
Right, next random QB. All right, Trevor.
He's above average already. I can say.
Above average.
Above average. I don't know. I would probably put him average, just because he hasn't shown anything good or bad. And part of that maybe is coaching and just the team.
I would say coaching team. Yep, I agree.
Are we looking about what he's going to be for the 2023 season? Because if you're going by what he was last season, Tom Brady's elite still. Tom Brady's one of the best still. I mean, I'm just talking about what he's going to be for 2023 season.
2023.
I feel like he's going to be above average. He's above. He has too much talent.
That they're reconstructing it.
And all that stuff they're putting around him, all this, it's just. I mean, we can leave him at average now, but I feel like we're going to look at the line and go say, "Wow,
we can do this again later on."
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't like looking forward is great, but just out of him, what he's done so far, I would say
you need to see it still.
Yeah, he's a rookie, and that's the.
And I mean, that's the thing. Same thing with Tua. Martin said we still want to see what he could do, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he could definitely be almost elite, maybe by the end of the season, for all we know. But yeah.
All right, so let's get Aaron Rodgers out there.
He's the best.
Yeah.
I hate him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm not even arguing that. That's
where were you thinking?
I don't know. I was gonna wait till what you guys said. Honestly, he would bounce between the elite and the best, but probably the best. I mean, the fact that he gets crap done without. But if we're talking about 2022 season, I would probably downgrade him because he doesn't have Devontae Adams anymore. But if you guys still think he's the best,
he was the MVP last year. He's going to still be great. He's going to whoop the Bears' ass.
So 2022, you still think he's going to be the best?
Yeah, next year he'll still be the best.
I think he'll be elite. But
he knows how to find.
There's no one in the NFC, Martin. He's going to look amazing.
Jimmy says the best.
When you look like when you sit next to trash, it makes you look even better.
I guess, man.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, 3 against 1. That's okay. All right. Next one. Carson Wentz.
Oof.
He's like the definition of average.
Just a picture.
You look at Carson Wentz and Kirk Cousins.
I think he's above average, and here's my argument.
Really? Cousins might be above average.
Look, last year he did a lot better than he performed from the previous years, and I get it. He was also in a weird, as a player himself, he did good. The fact that he is a crap man in the locker room, his personality probably sucks, and I'm probably the only one who thinks this still. But like as a player, he's a little above average. He didn't do that bad. He fell under the 13th. He was the number 13th rank coming into at the end of the season. 13. That's above average to me.
Timing of his when the spotlight gets bright, he falls apart. He throws.
Everyone just looks at the negative stuff.
Pick six. Those things matter. If you have to win, like he throws pick sixes, he throws fumbles. He's the worst average player I've ever seen in my life. He has stats. It just does not work. Oh,
all right. So where he's at?
I'm gonna go on average too. I think Jimmy said below average and Braden said average. I'm gonna say average. Above average which is crazy because like
it's not crazy at all. It is not crazy. You can't tell me that someone at rank 13 is just slightly average. He wasn't that far from being top 12, top 10. But hey, I'm outranked. It's fine. Moving on. Moving on. Minshew.
Just leave that right there.
Probably.
All right, that's fine. All right, next dude.
He's fun.
Who?
Justin Fields.
Below. He's definitely below.
Below. Really?
Mm-hmm. For not right now. He hasn't shown anything. So if I'm keeping all these other guys, he's not gonna have any talent around him this next year. So I still gotta say he's in Tua's camp right now.
Really?
I love him. Don't get me wrong. I got his jersey. I have 2 jerseys in my closet. I love him.
I hope he proves all of
Jimmy saying average.
I really say average. So Jimmy says average. Ryan says average.
I'm below average. Below average.
Tank, where you at?
Below average. I mean,
below average. Braden, are you watching? Please tell me, Braden.
I know if Trevor Lawrence is average and the way he played on a bad team, then there's no way that Fields can be on the same level as Trevor Lawrence. He played worse.
The only good work he did was freaking mac and cheese. That was the only one.
Yeah, he was on a good team, good coach, But if both of these guys were bad, I'm gonna say below average. In the upcoming years, I think he could be. He couldn't read a defense. He was holding the ball for too long. He couldn't figure it out, which isn't completely his fault. But he's still the player on the field. So
let's get Mahomes out the way. Let's just get Mahomes out the way. Mahomes and Josh Allen. I want to put them at top.
Well, that's what I was gonna put them, and then you're like, oh, let's do it by player. So I was gonna go down the ranking. All right, so that's too easy. The best, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Move them out.
Josh Allen's a beat. Whatever, Jimmy. You just said Tom Brady's best. Whatever, dude. No,
I think it might be a little bit of delay. He might be talking about Mahomes.
But even Mahomes, that's more nuts. That's more nuts.
Yeah. They're right now. They're the best.
Either way, we're gonna outrank them and put them at the best, anyways, right? Because I'm pretty sure all 3 of us, like even if Braden and Jimmy agreed on it,
Brady had an unbelievable first half. He had a terrible second half. Me breaking up, and whatever.
Brady was almost MVP because his name is Tom Brady.
So Brady's saying the only one could be the best. Everyone else has to be elite because they're only
all right.
All right, well, wait, leave them there, and we'll figure that out later. Leave them there for now.
One, ooh,
we'll figure that out later.
Okay, yeah, I like that. We'll do that. And
All
then out of those guys,
figure out later. That's fine. Hey, I like what Braden says. Dude in the chair, man. This is why Braden's here. All right. Let's move on with Matt Ryan.
Above average quarterback. He's not average. I mean, he's still above average. He was almost elite, and now he's just above average.
I'm kind of stuck in between. Yeah.
Oh my god.
He's definitely at worst average.
He's at the worst. He's average, but he's way better than Carson Wentz. So whatever you would argue with Carson Wentz, he's better than Carson. I'll take him every day. Cleveland, matter of fact, Eddie will take him every day.
All right.
Yeah, Ryan's above average. That's what Jimmy said.
All right. Let's go with Randy Tannehill.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna say below average. The weapons that he had and everything that he had, he didn't. He was terrible. Like, he cost him the championship game, and to me, it's like, is that still gonna happen?
Oh my god! Yeah, below average. I gotta give you that.
For me, it's below average. Honestly, I would say bad for what I'm expecting from him. But I mean, if you can say below average, one bad, Tank, where you at?
I can see him below average. Bad is there's a case for it, but that's kind of you have to make it pretty good, but definitely below average.
All right.
And Jimmy said the same thing, and Braden said the same thing. This past year, he was below average.
All right, Drew Lock
below average.
Oh, jeez.
Horrible.
Drew Lock.
I'm gonna say bad. That dude's good.
He's awful.
I would put him in awful. Yeah, I would say
awful. So if between at least Minshew somehow signs Seattle, you're gonna see Minshew over Drew Lock in Seattle, which I kind of actually see. So I actually agree with this. You know what? Now that I put those into perspective, I would see Minshew over Lock in Seattle if that would happen.
You can even put Minshew down to awful, and I'll still tell you to put Drew Lock on trash.
So that's you want to go trash and you want to go awful?
Yeah, like we can do that.
And then
he's trash. He's
terrible. I mean, also Minshew is fun to watch at the very least. Press conferences, stuff like that. I know it doesn't really play into the game, but you know, when you see the person on TV, he's fun doing all the stupid shit he does with the ninja sword and stuff in his backyard. I was like, come on, man. I mean, that's just a fun guy. So,
all right. Let's who do you want to pick, Tank? Who you interested in voting on?
Cool.
Well, let's go mac and cheese.
All right.
We're already kind of talking about rookies.
Where are we at?
I gotta go above average for him.
I go above average.
Above average, okay. I'm not disagreeing either. I think what he did in his first year was really good with what he had.
Yep, he's just better than the other rookies for now.
All right, Jimmy says, let's do Jimmy G.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Drew Lock is the best lip syncer in the league.
That's funny.
So above average for Meg. Yeah, we kind of agree on that too. So, all right. What was it? Drew Lock? Who doing? My bad. Jimmy?
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. All right.
Where's he even going to play? Where's he even going to play next year?
And that's the thing. That's why I haven't picked him yet.
Yeah.
But
I mean, based off of last year.
Well, going up to next year, I still think no matter whatever you do with Jimmy G is average. He's just
at least
average. I would above average.
He's not.
He gets it done somehow.
Good, like you could talk me in above average because he's very similar to Matt Ryan. He's very similar to Matt Ryan. So I can say above average.
Yeah, even Braden's above average. I'm
above
there.
Average too.
Yeah,
I mean, he gets it done.
These three guys are all the same guy. They're the same guy.
Yeah,
Jimmy G's the better looking one.
Oh,
that's it.
There you go. See, 71%. He gets it done. He gets it done. We don't like seeing him, but he gets it done somehow, some way.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, he beat Rodgers. I mean, it wasn't him, but
every 49er beat Rodgers though. Kirk Cousins.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly where he belongs.
Above average.
He's above average. But
you don't think he's top 10 yet?
No. I think the younger guys have now surpassed him. The younger guys are. He's going to be pushed right back to where he belongs. right
So you're
there.
gonna leave him above average.
Yeah, for now.
Uh-huh.
But he's gonna get pushed. They're gonna pass him up.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay. All right. Jalen Hurts.
The best for getting that money. He is. I mean, we should make a whole thing about getting money, and Watson and Cousins should be up there for sure.
All right. Jalen Hurts. For fantasy purposes, he is probably elite for fantasy, but in general, we're taking overall.
NFL.
I love him. I think average is the worst he can be. I think he's above average. I think he's above
average.
I think he's above average.
Oh, Braden's saying he's below average, and Jimmy is saying above average. So we got Braden and Jimmy complete. I'll say above.
I like it hurts. Yes, a lot.
I don't think he's better than Trevor Lawrence.
I think he is better than Trevor Lawrence right
there's
now.
No way. There's no way.
In the long run, Trevor Lawrence is better.
Be great, yeah. But right now, yeah.
Out of what we've seen
in this upcoming season, I think he
had no help, none.
Trevor didn't have either, though.
Yes, and he had terrible numbers, and Jalen Hurts had good numbers.
All right, so what do we got? 2 above average, 1 below average.
We can leave him an average.
We have 2 below average, 1 average, and 1 above, and 2 below. I'm gonna say average.
Yeah.
All right.
There's
and we got.
Sorry. I think Jalen Hurts is better than Dak Prescott. You crazy?
Wow.
Yeah, that's a little.
Let's get Dak up there. Damn.
Dak Prescott is almost elite.
You're telling me Dak belongs here, Jimmy?
No way.
He's almost elite. There's no question. He's almost elite. He's almost
I would agree 100% with that.
Yeah.
With Jimmy saying he's below average,
which he
brings him down a little bit.
Jimmy saying he's average. He's an average QB. I don't know if he's.
He's not.
At worst, he's above average. At worst. Yeah.
He's doing amazing.
Yeah. Oh, rumors have it Tyreek Hill getting traded.
Be interesting.
That'd be interesting. I don't see it happening though. Chiefs are gonna make sure they keep their squad together for as long as possible.
Yeah, all right, so every minute.
3 of us say elite, almost elite, right?
He's almost elite.
I'm going almost elite.
All right.
Yeah, he put big numbers when his team is being blown out.
No, he carried the team when his problem is Zeke Elliott. Problem is Zeke Elliott.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right. Daniel Jones.
Dakota.
I think he's bad. I don't like
he's below average. Or you say he's bad.
He's bad. Yeah. It's so hard because he had no line, but he's done it for so many years now.
He's coming up on his 4th now.
Yeah, you can't have the same excuse you have with Tua and Justin. They can't win with him, and I gotta say he's bad.
Yeah, okay. Jimmy's going bad, and Braden going bad.
Right. Let's go with Russell.
I was just about to pick him. Let's go with Russell. Almost elite.
He's been elite right there. He's been a top 5 quarterback for such a long time. I'm going to say leave him.
We're talking with this upcoming season also coming up. Like now that he's a Bronco,
he's been a Bronco. He might be elite this year.
I'm gonna say
elite. Yeah, I'm gonna say
he might be elite
because he's always been right there. He's like the top 5. He's
almost elite. It's one of those. And here's what I'm gonna say. We could leave elite as our top 3 but I would say almost elite.
I would say almost elite. Next year, by the end of next year, he'll probably be in that elite talk for sure.
I'm gonna say this: Russell Wilson. If I had Russell Wilson or Josh Allen, I might take Russell Wilson.
I'm gonna say Josh Allen. You can't.
I'm gonna probably go Josh Allen.
You can't. No, and I understand that, but there's the rushing aspect that Russell doesn't do.
He's won Super Bowls. He can run. He can throw. He knows how to slide. He's a winner. He's a leader. He's everything that you think that Josh Allen could be. Russ is already there. He's already that.
All right. So we got.
And Hefe's put in elite. He's saying
2. All right. So we have 2 elites. One almost elite. That makes two almost elites with mine almost elite. All right, so it comes down to you two.
I'm saying almost elite.
I'm saying elite.
Oh
elite.
My goodness gracious!
Because he is there, but
I think he is elite. I think that because I think what I don't like even think about Brady because Brady can't be low, but and I think Aaron Rodgers is the best. I think almost the best as Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes, and then leave everyone else at elite. Because I think that Russell Wilson is not an elite quarterback is just crazy.
I think for me, elite is game changers. Like the
game changers, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Once he wasn't hurt, he look at Seattle. Seattle went from a horrible team to when he's healthy, he's great. Yeah. He's Russell Wilson again. You know. That's good. That's a good choice. New.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Who's that? Mahomes is the best common man. Keep it real. The best.
There you go.
He's not Mahomes. What Mahomes did in that second half of that game automatically takes him out of the best conversation. I'm sorry. You know. No, I mean I guess you could say that about Rodgers too.
Yeah, Tom Brady had a bad game. The Green Bay Packers when he threw 3 interceptions. Aaron Rodgers had a bad game when he should have won the NFC championship. They only scored 13 points. I mean, just say that about all of them.
Yeah, and Russ hasn't been able to take his team past the first round in how long now? So true. Yeah,
so I'm gonna leave him there on his own tier. He's not his own tier.
He's better than Dak Prescott, and I don't think he's as good as like Aaron Rodgers or Russell. I'll take him over Tom Brady. I'll tell you that much. But whatever.
I think we got too many.
Nobody can
tiers.
I'm gonna put him in his own tier by himself.
I'm okay with that.
All right,
that's fine. That's
Joe
fine.
Burrow.
Yeah, he's going Joey B.
Oh,
almost elite.
He's between almost elite and above average. He's right in between there. Because if you're going by regular season is above average. Playoff run was almost elite because he got his team to the Super Bowl. But his numbers, he wasn't like the only reason we were there. His numbers are not unbelievable yet. Like he's not better than Lamar Jackson right now. So I don't know. I'm almost elite or above average. He's right there in between. I think he needs to show me one more year.
No, I'm cool with almost elite.
I'm cool with almost elite as well.
Yeah.
And Burrow is elite.
What? I feel like
so you got an almost elite, elite.
Elite.
And I think with the line of the Bengals got, he will have a big season. I think he was almost elite and easily potentially being elite next season.
Elite, but I definitely see him as I could see him in Dak Prescott. A good sense for him to be next to.
Let's go with Watson. Now that he's a Brown.
This is hard. Put him on the next right next to Russell Wilson. The category with Russell, because he should be. No, don't get me wrong. He should be talent-wise the third best quarterback in the NFL. That's how good he is.
But that won't be his own tier. Then that would be that would in between. That'll change the mid.
Like, I would do almost elite. I would not. Don't add another tier because then you're going.
I was going to change the name to between elite and almost elite.
He's better than both those.
Almost elite. He's better. You don't want too many tiers.
No. I was just going to change the elite / almost elite.
The big thing is like he didn't play last year, so you have no info compared to everyone else. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, I would put almost elite just because of his past years. But if he played last year, he could be elite, even on a shitty team, just because he's that much of a playmaker.
He's elite on a shitty team. Is my point. Exactly.
Yeah.
Now you put him
but
on
since he didn't play last year,
on the elite line, but he's better than Dak Prescott. Cowboys would kill Dak Prescott to get Deshaun Watson. Like they were just like throw him out a fifth-story window. Like, what are you talking about? That's what I think
most teams.
Yeah. I think
every team besides the Chiefs would go after Deshaun Watson.
Well, after Chiefs and the Bills, I think everyone else would say, "Yeah, I'll talk to him." That's how good.
Okay.
Let's hard. Let's go.
All right, we got
Roger
Jared
Brady
Goff.
Mahomes should be the best. We're gonna get into the best situation because we got pick one.
I'm not putting Rodgers. I mean, I'm Brady. Brady's not the best.
Jared freaking Goff.
Below
average. Where are you putting him? I'm gonna say below average.
Below average.
Yeah.
You can't lose to Justin Fields twice. Come on, man.
Jimmy's saying he's awful. The Jared Goff is awful. I would
Daniels?
even say
bad.
I would say bad.
I would
say bad. Yeah, I don't think he probably plays just as good as Daniels, but not worse than Daniels.
Okay. All right. I can agree with that. All right. Let's go with Mitch Trubisky now that he's
he's bad.
I'm gonna say below average. I really think he's gonna pop off this year.
But from what info? Because
he wasn't. I think he's a different QB. I think from what he's learned in Bills and being on a different, I don't know. I have a feeling he's gonna be below average. He ain't gonna be great, but I don't think he's gonna be bad. He was a starter for 2 of your seasons.
3.
But I think he's gonna be below average. I think he'll be better than Jared Goff and Daniels, but that's just me.
What's start for 4 years?
4 years?
I would say 2. But
I mean, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with below average.
Yeah. I don't think he's on the same level as Justin Fields, but you go ahead and put him on below average.
You're the one who dogged on Justin Fields, man. I like Justin Fields, but
I don't not like him either, but Tua and Mitch sound good. That sound about right. Tannehill, who's not really a quarterback, he's a receiver. That makes sense. Justin Fields is better.
Yeah. I mean, we could definitely do this a couple more times throughout the season. At least midway,
and then I already have. I've had this. I've been wanting to do this for the new season to start up. So now that we're up on the new season, all right. Let's see what we got. We're running down here. Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy B.
It's hard to tell.
He's a very good backup.
Average or below average?
Below average QB. He's a below average starter. He's a very good backup.
I would say average.
I would take Tua over him. I'll take Justin Fields over him. I would probably take Ryan Tannehill over Bridgewater because Teddy Bridgewater can't win you a game. He can't.
But I don't know. All right, so
I'm okay.
Jimmy says average. Braden says average. I say average.
He got a below average arm. He's a very good. I'm not gonna
say he's average.
He's a backup. He's a backup. I can't have an average.
People have spoken.
How's he on the same level as Trevor Lawrence?
And I'm an average.
Braden brought up a good point. He goes, Teddy won't do anything crazy, but he also won't do anything dumb. So, which kind of puts you right in the average.
Nailed it on the freaking head. I love that. I love that right there.
Who will do a lot of stuff that's crazy.
I'm gonna cut that
do a lot of stuff that's dumb. Okay, so I guess they're.
I'm gonna cut that out and use it on a 2-minute clip right there. I love that, Braden. That is.
I think that's the definition of average. Is you're not going to do anything crazy and you're not going to do anything bad.
Average
that's average.
We should take Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields out of there because they should be on their own tier. Like we don't know.
I was gonna put them higher.
We don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing is are we doing predictions or are we doing what we saw? Because what we saw, Fields wasn't good. You know what I mean?
We're doing predictions because we're not putting Watson in the Browns.
Yeah. But Watson for every single year he played, he was almost elite. I would, if he played last year, he probably would have been elite.
I agree, and that's why I just can't put him there yet because I still need to see, but I still expect him to be almost elite.
Yeah, well, for sure. I'm right there with you.
All right,
I hate that.
Let's go with Zach Wilson.
You put him. We don't know. He did awful too. But we don't know. He was on a really bad team. To be on a bad team.
Yeah.
But
they're making so many moves to improve his stature as a QB. I honestly want to put him at below average. That's just my vote.
I feel like we need
because they're fixing that line. They're giving him weapons. The draft hasn't even happened yet.
Yeah.
They're doing whatever it takes to give whoever there at a QB position is
100% correct.
Ready.
They're the Jet. And then
because it's a Jet, I would say below average.
Zach Wilson. We're doing Zach Wilson. Yeah,
Zach Wilson. I'm gonna say below average, but I can change it if you guys disagree.
I feel like all the rookies should be either, but they should be above average, average, or below average. They should all be around there because they're not in the league long enough to be anything above, and they're not in the league long enough to be anything below. They're gonna be in that range. I feel like, by the end of next year, maybe we can see, for sure. But as of right now, just for them playing as the little bit that they played, I think most rookies are going to be there.
Well, then let's knock out this rookie as well. All right, let's put Trey Lance somewhere
below everything. Yeah, put below everything.
We don't know
if he's bad. We don't know if he's bad. We don't know if he's good. We don't know nothing about Trey Lance. We see him in college.
But from what you expect, that Jimmy would be gone.
I don't even know if Jimmy G's going to be going. I wouldn't be surprised they re-signed Jimmy G. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay.
I wouldn't be.
We can leave him there. All right. Derek Carr.
I love Derek Carr.
Ooh.
He's wherever you put Kirk Cousins, put him one slot ahead of him.
No way.
Not elite.
That's what Ryan said.
Ryan
said put him
same level.
You know what I'm saying? Like if Kirk Cousins 13, Derek Carr's 12. You know what I'm saying?
So right above average.
You don't have to be. You can be on the same level as him.
I got what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
he's just like one
slot above.
I think that's going to change, though. I think he is going to be almost this coming year. I think he's going to be almost elite.
I agree.
The only pendulum swing that can help is Jimmy G, or Jimmy Mills, and Redden. Almost elite. There's two right there. There's almost two votes for almost elite. Mine and Jimmy's. Braden, where you at?
From what Carr did last year, you can't put him in almost elite. For next year, yeah.
I'm talking about for next year. This is for next year.
But also, what if he gets hurt? What if he gets hurt in the first game? Then what? Is he still almost elite conversation?
Right.
Like, I mean, you can't. I don't like looking at predictions. He's above average. Above average. By the end of next year, he could be almost elite. But there's no way. There's no way I could put him in the almost elite category.
Okay.
With all the drama that happened this year. Yeah, no way.
And then they still made the playoffs.
Matthew Stafford.
Yeah. Oh God, how do you go with the guy who won the Super Bowl?
He's almost elite. He's always been
almost elite.
He's almost always been there.
Yeah, he had Devontae Adams. He will be up. No, he's going to have Devontae Adams. So he didn't have Devontae Adams last year.
No, he's talking about his college. When he had Devontae Adams, he was.
But that was also college. It was also college. It was also there's a lot of QBs that were elite in college that turned out crap.
He's been above average for a long year. I think he's going to be a really good season. He's going to have one.
Stafford's almost elite. Kyler Murray.
I just don't like him.
You just don't like him.
Yeah, I don't like him. That doesn't do with Kyler Murray. I mean, he's above average quarterback. I just don't like him.
Okay.
I'll put it, above average is
above average? Okay. All right. Baker. Ooh. Again, we don't know where he's going to be. But
he's between average and above average. That's what he is.
Wherever
the average
is, he's a slot below. It should go Kirk Cousins. It should go Baker Mayfield, Kirk Cousins, and Derek Carr.
That ain't me. All right.
Vacuuming.
Yeah, vacuuming.
Oh, damn. That sounds like a damn, I don't know, man. Like someone's cutting the grass with the edge or something. All right. Baker's awful.
He's not awful.
Okay, I don't think he's
Baker Mayfield was hurt. Baker Mayfield is
at minimum he's below average.
Yeah. No, at minimum he's average. I just feel like he's what Kirk Cousins. The thing I claim Kirk Cousins is, that's what Baker Mayfield really is.
I feel like the only thing that made Baker above average was being behind the best O-line in the league. So
we're leaving him at what?
Leave him at average.
I'm cool with average.
All right. So we're almost done here and almost done with the show. We got 3 more QBs left.
Lamar Jackson's hard.
Let's get rid of Lamar right now.
He has to be on almost elite at least. He's the MVP. Like when he plays, the entire game changes. He's so good that the game is totally changes everything. You can't even almost not put him on the same level.
He said, "I'm sorry, Jimmy just hates Baker, man."
Yeah. You probably looked at that the YouTube thing that said, was it OBJ is always open?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's tough. Can't watch that.
Lamar's almost elite. All right, we're leaving it. That wasn't that hard as much as Brian thought it would be.
I thought that someone might say he's elite.
Herbert.
Is Herbert really on the same level as Lamar Jackson and Deshaun Watson?
Almost elite for Herbert.
I don't like that.
He's been pretty good for the past 2 seasons that we've seen. There is nothing wrong that I've seen, and we're talking almost elite is probably top 10 at minimum. Do you agree that Herbert's top 10?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, he's 11.
Okay, so you're saying above average. Okay.
Yeah, he's 11.
Yeah, he's above average. He could be. He could be. Yeah, he could be almost elite in the coming years. But.
Because if you're not giving it to him, the last person we have on here is Sam Darnold.
He's bad.
Bad?
Sam Darnold's bad. It's not terrible. He's bad.
He did really good opening first 4 or 5 weeks, man. And then he just after he got hurt, he was done. Once he got hurt, he was done.
He's another guy when the chips are down, he plays worse. Like I don't know what else to say about him.
So top 10 makes almost elite. So you're saying Herbert can't make almost elite. So we're saying that above average, right?
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 ahead of him. There's 10 ahead of him.
Yeah, there's 10.
My bad.
Yeah, there's 10 ahead of him. So he's not there.
So of these 10, which pretty much of these 4, which one would be the best?
Aaron Rodgers. I hate him.
Aaron Rodgers.
That stupid face. Such a punchable face. I want to punch him in the face.
I don't think he's going to be the best next season, but okay.
I think he's still going to have unbelievable numbers.
Rodgers is the best.
Yeah, I hate him.
Yeah, he just knows how to make plays. You know, Mahomes, he had a lot of bad games last year, and then he just completely choked in the championship game.
All right, well,
I
mean, I guess Rodgers did choke too at home.
Braden says Aaron as well.
I mean, he didn't choke. I mean, he scored 13 points. They almost won. They should have won against the San Francisco 49ers with the 13 points still.
Oh man, that's too early, man. That's too early, bro. And if it's Aaron again, then I don't know. That's too early.
It could be though. That's one of those things with Aaron. He makes people better.
Because he likes Brady. Mahomes will be MVP. That could be punted. All these 4 dudes right here can easily be.
Brady's not going to be MVP ever again. Stop. Just stop.
You don't know that?
Yes, I do know that. No, you know who's undefeated? You want to know who's undefeated? Father Time. Father Time has not been defeated yet. Father Time is undefeated. It's going to happen.
All right. Well, I'm glad we got that.
Well,
I just wanted to play that game. Took a little longer than I will save this and download it. But yeah, anyways, that's.
The truth is we probably should have more people that are worse and more people off of that middle tier.
It'll update. Well, there isn't a lot of people in that middle tier though.
No.
Yes, I agree.
No.
I agree as well.
I mean, you want to talk about like father time? Aaron Rodgers has proven like father time. It's like, get out of here.
Yeah, it happens. Just wait.
All right. Anyways.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those people in that middle section, above, below, and average, I think a lot of those are going to start separating this year. Because by the end of the season, I think a lot of those are gonna will go one way or the other. I don't think we're gonna have too many average quarterbacks this year. It's either gonna be a lot of below or a lot above. But
as far as it goes with a Brady, it's like, what is it? You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain. He's gonna live long enough to see himself become the villain. He's gonna start tell you it's happening. I hope the same thing happens to Rodgers too. But I just don't see it.
So he said, I read an article that St. Philip Rivers might come back for a season. Wow. Who's gonna pick him up though, man?
It'll be the coach again.
No, I don't.
I think Baker's going to the Colts, but also Philip Rivers. Even when he was playing, he was barely in football condition, and now he's been gone for a few years. There's no way he's still in football like health, like to play like that. Know. Brady is always going to be in football condition, but yeah, Baker's going to Colts.
Don't be mad. All
right. That does it for our show.
Yeah, hey, you got one of you guys take us out because I got that vacuum going in the background.
Vacuum? All right. Yeah. You know what? I've never seen Brian close the show out.
I do it every Tuesday. It sucks.
Well, yeah, but that's for your show. You want me to do it?
All right. If I do it, Jimmy's never going to see us again. I'm just letting you know. This is all going to be about Brady. I'm just going to end it right there.
All right. Well, look. Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you, Braden. And thank you, Chiefs, for stopping by. This is the Morning Spike. Again, we'll be here every Wednesday. Just playing Sunday. More games. And what did I say? Wednesday? Oh, yes, every Sunday on the Morning Spike. And then you could be here on Tuesday and Wednesday if you want a little bit more football news, as this man over here is getting this spike bet. Look, that's not going to happen. We had a spike bet going on earlier. He said 16 sacks for Khalil Mack. I don't think that's possible. He hasn't done that yet in his career. And thank you for the great show. Yeah, of course. So again, Tuesday, you catch Brian on the Grizzly Show, and then myself, Dynasty Pylon, whenever we decide it should be. I think we're going to change it 30 minutes before that due to football practice. So for myself. So but we'll be playing more games, and we'll be getting closer and closer to the draft. No big news as of yesterday or as of this week, besides this this week was it Juju and Robert Woods, right? Nothing really on Thursday. Or was that one Watson? Yeah.
Watson, Brissett.
Yeah. So we still got some big names out there, so we'll see what happens out there.
Armstead, we got to see Baker. We got to see a lot of things going to happen. We're going to have a lot more things shaking up. The first domino has fallen, but we have to see where everything else lays for the rest of this NFL season.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, that'll do it for our show. Again, catch us on the next one. Other than that, I got nothing else to say. And I'm trying to find this outro. So yeah. Anyways,
you live long, die a hero, or live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Pretty much.